this video, I want to cover a little bit about what we might call politics. It's really a lousy word, but it's more or less the argument in favor of something is what I'm looking at. How do you convince people in a sort of convincing way that this is what they must do? And I'm going to look at the politics of libertarianism, the politics of conservatism, and the politics of the progressive, or the socialist. Socialists, as you all know, or if you haven't observed it yet, they use the politics of victimization. In other words, they will take people into a room, particularly minorities, people that are maybe just coming into the country, foreign people. They tell them that they are victims of this other class, of these rich people or wherever they are, and they can't do it themselves without their help. So they tell a person that you're a victim, you can't make it, you need our help. That is their push into their ideology, and that we will bring about a state of fairness and equality. That's the kind of the total story of the socialist. You're a victim. We want to bring about a state of fairness and equality in your life with the rest of the world. Come join us. The conservatives use the politics of fear. It's fairly obvious. They want a safe and secure environment. They tell you that the environment is dangerous, that criminality is all over the place. There's countries that want to invade us. There's terrorists that are going to be riding on every airplane. There's a boogeyman behind every bush, and you need us. We want to make things safe and secure for you, so join us. That's their politics. Now, those are both what we call statist type of ideologies. Ours is a little different. Our politics is a little different because we are individualistically oriented. You have statism, and you have individualism. You also have the theocratic ideologies based in religion. But before we look at those other two, I just want to discuss real quickly libertarianism. What is our politics? And this is what you're going to have to learn to use. And I hear it being used more, so I know it's becoming more and more acceptable because people are finding out this is what works. And it's the politics of personal responsibility. The fact of the matter is, folks, you can't keep your personal property rights. You cannot properly use them unless you're also personally responsible for them. It's just not going to work. Can you imagine someone who is totally irresponsible for his life and what he's doing, and you're going to have him toting around a gun at will and doing with his car, his body, or whatever he wants to do with it when he's totally irresponsible? That doesn't work. That's why children won't be having the same, they don't have personal property rights until they get of a certain age where they're able to take responsibility for their life. So that's part and parcel to it. We use the politics, the argument of personal responsibility towards the attainment of personal property rights. The conservatives use the politics of fear to the attainment of safety and security. And of course, the socialists use the politics of victimization towards the attainment of fair and equal. So there you have those three. You have the statist one versus the individualistic one. I'm going to mention the other two. They're not much of a problem. They are the theocratic ones. In other words, they're very much involved in religion. And one of them is, of course, monarchy. Yes, you know, the king is the leader, and he's the connection to God, and there is still monarchy going on in the world, and it's mostly in the Middle East. Those are all monarchies. You know, the United Arab Republic and certainly Iran, Iraq kind of broke away from it, but there's a lot of monarchy still going there. And the other one is communism, and I'm talking about real communism, and that's best described as tribalism right now, but that's very religiously oriented, and that's mostly involved in Africa. We've had some here. We had the Branch Davidians, who were a commune, and of course, even in our own history, we had a commune called the Pilgrims. and we know the problems they ran into. But they are very religiously oriented. Everything's run by religion, and of course everybody owns everything in a commune. So that's not a particularly workable ideology either. But they each have their goals. So we have the statist over here, the theologies over here, and in the center, the golden mean, the moderates, the real moderation. These are both extremes. The real moderation is the individualistic libertarians in the center. Be nice to take this country and get it into a more moderate form of existence, and get away from these extremes of fascism and socialism, and away from these extremes of communism and monarchies, and go to a good individualistic based society called